2, 3, 4.
Run up your engines! Thank you all for the 1 billion YouTube views. Yes, thanks to all you viewers out there. I'm now the #1 do-it-yourself car repair channel on YouTube. You might think Scotty's making it up. Well, here we go. Check it out. 1,7,826,935 and counting. Now people can say, what does #1 mean? Well, to me it only means one thing. I'm the first one to get over 1 billion views on a car repair channel. So why do so many people watch me? Well, probably has something to do with the fact that I've been working on cars for over 52 years now, and I'm sharing all that knowledge in a way that the average person can understand. I'm not a sponsored guy. You don't see me pushing stuff that people are trying to sell. Now, I do try products out. I fix cars for a living. You gotta fix cars with parts and tools. That's just a no-brainer. But I tell you the truth about them. And if you check the side of my garage, you'll see there's where a lot of the failed products go. There's just piles and piles of them. And of course there's more inside the garage than the main part too. I test things out honestly to see two things. Do they work as claimed? And are they a decent price for the work that they do? So if you've ever sent me any kind of tools or products and you haven't seen them yet, hope that it's one I'm still testing out and not one that failed my test that I'm not going to talk about. And you really want to hope that it's a product that isn't so bad that I will feature it as one of the worst products I've ever seen. I get a lot of Chinese stuff, especially things that operate on apps. The apps are entire garbage, and I tell people don't even think about buying one of those. The app doesn't even work. People say, oh, Scotty, he's an old guy. He's no mechanic. He doesn't understand new cars. Well, I'm an old dog that learns new tricks. I work on all the modern stuff too. It's actually kind of interesting. The modern stuff used to drive me nuts because I had to keep buying all this equipment and all these tools. Well, not anymore. The companies send me all the stuff and I try them out, and if they're good, they get free PR. I'll show a tool that I think works quite well. So I don't have to buy that stuff anymore. Like this Picoscope automotive oscilloscope. Picoscope company, hey, they gave it to me and it works quite well. But on the other hand, I'm not here showing you too much technology because that's not something you can use. I mean, if you're interested in learning how it works, totally fine. But I am more into showing you things you can do yourself. Or, even if you don't do things yourself, what car should you buy? Working on cars for 52 years, I've seen some good cars, some okay cars, and some junker cars. I try to steer people away from buying the junker cars or buying really expensive tools that you don't need. For example, this is an Autel scanner, and it's about 3,500 bucks. It's a great scanner for professional mechanics. Professional mechanic like myself, you have to have one of these things if you're serious about working on cars. But if you're working on your own, you're not going to shell out that kind of money because a quality dongle USB receiver. This one just plugs into USB port, and then a blue driver uses the software on your phone. Does an excellent job for some relatively complex repairs if you want to go that far. Consider that most mechanics these days charge about $120 an hour labor. Buy one of those blue drivers for 99 bucks. Hey, it's a pretty good deal. And it fits any car in the United States from 96 up, so fits an awful lot of cars. I can show you a lot of stuff you can do yourself. I translate the uber complex stuff the simplest way I can possibly explain it to anyone, so they can either fix their car or at least know what system's going on to help the mechanic find out and to keep the mechanic from ripping you off because you know more than you did before. Or let's say you're buying a used car. You plug one of those in and you find problems. You don't buy the used car. It really saves you a lot of money. Now, in the interest of truth, I do get paid for these videos. Every time you watch one of my videos, I make a little bit less than 1 penny. And really all you gotta do is watch the ad. You're not even paying me a penny. It's indirect through Google ads, right? But look what you're getting. All this information I built up over the years that I can help you out with. Getting 1 billion views hasn't changed me at all. Look at my garage. It's just as big of a mess as it was before. My 94 Celica's still sitting in a driveway, as is the sailboat that has vines growing on it. That hasn't seen water for quite some time, except during thunderstorms like we just had. The only real regret I have is that I don't get to ride my motorcycle around as much as I used to because I'm too busy making videos. But rain or shine, I'm going to continue making videos to help people, following what technology has changed, what remains the same, which companies are still making good products, which companies have started to slip, which tools that are coming out you might really want to get, or which ones you might say, ah, that's too much money, why should I waste my money on that? Now really, you're only as old as you think you are. Now my brain still thinks that I'm 20-something years old. Don't look in mirrors very often. You don't want to face reality. As one of my old friends once said, hey, Scotty's old, but he doesn't act old. My wife still says I'm kind of like a 3-year-old. I met 16-year-old people that acted like they were 96. I've also met 96-year-old people that acted like they were 6. I think I'd take the latter anytime. How one guy like me with one camera has gotten 1 billion views. Well, I'm kind of shading it there. I got more than one camera. I've got quite a few spare cameras. Hey, it seems like I'm spending half my life inside this camera. Yes, I have quite a few cameras actually because I keep upgrading them, but they're all Panasonics. Man, they're great cameras. I can't argue that. I buy them myself. Panasonic doesn't give them to me. There's no script writers here. No magic green screens. Just Scotty telling you the truth about cars. And occasionally about life. Thanks again for the 1 billion+ YouTube views. And don't forget to check out my new channel, The Autonaut's Garage. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Ovicello says, Scotty, I heard it's better to turn off your AC before you shut off the car and then turn it back on after you start the car. Is that true? Well, it was a long time ago in the 1960s. If you had a car back then that had AC. Nowadays, vehicles have relays that are safety devices for everything. And I used to think that was true for all cars, but I had a discussion decades ago with a really good engineer that I personally know, and I know he's not a BS artist. And he explained, doesn't really matter anymore. You can do whatever you want. The relays save absolutely everything. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. Now, let's say you got a car that's kind of worn off. Well, it's better to turn it off before you start the car because it's a little bit of strain, not that much, but a little bit of strain on the vehicle. But as for turn it off before you shut off the car, it doesn't matter. Oh, you're just turning a car off. But you really don't have to worry in any modern car. And that modern car, I mean any car made in the last 20 years or less. Robo7005 says, I got a 2018 Ford Flex. Took it in service and they wanted the air filter changed. Quote was $60 plus they recommended evaporator core cleaner for $150. Because they said it seemed musty. Is this valid or an attempt to pad the bill? Man, they're padding like no tomorrow. First of all, just learn how to do it yourself. You can buy the filter at AutoZone for $10. Take you 2 minutes. Learn how to take it out. Do that yourself. And this evaporator cleaning, what a bunch of hoo-ha. If you want to do that, you can do that yourself. All you got to do is when you take the filter out, spray a little Lysol inside there, and that'll clean any musty smell inside. Don't pay them $150 a day. People are always trying to sell crap to people. You know, that's really the reason I got into fixing cars in the first place. So as a kid, I didn't have money to fix cars. I was going to pay somebody to fix cars, so I learned how to do it myself. And when I bought my house 44 years ago, hey, I learned how to do plumbing, electricity, you name it. I don't want to pay people to do stuff that I could easily do myself because it's not rocket science. Some person built this house, so some person, me, can fix it. You learn how to do stuff yourself, you're going to save a lot of money and a lot of grief, too. Rabbit Amoeba says, Scotty, my 2012 Camry XLE Hybrid uses a dreaded replaceable paper oil filter inside one of those dumb canisters. The original filter is pretty poor, but it appears that Toyota Racing Development doesn't make a filter for my car. AMSOL box, which AC Delco make them all to be suitable replacement. What's the best filter for that? I go with the Bosch on that because they're made out of better material. The good ones are made out of synthetic material. I just did one the other day. The guy bought the filter and I looked at it. Sure enough, it's that high quality replacement filter, and I looked at it. It was high quality. And the Bosch makes pretty good ones. I've had no problems with the Bosch filters. Always buy the high-end ones, though. If you get a choice, you don't go to like AutoZone or someplace and buy the $2.99 filters. They're the cheapest ones. Buy the ones that cost a bit more, that say they're the high mileage ones. They're made better, they'll last longer, and they'll filter better. Freddy's Off the Wagon says, I got a 2020 Ford Expedition. I messed around with putting fancy fenders and some aftermarket parts on it, and I took the battery out, so I didn't short anything out, and now my running boards don't pop out and in like they're supposed to. Hell, theoretically, those things are made so that when you disconnect the battery and put it in, it's supposed to automatically reset itself. But I've seen on those late model ones like that, that's a 2020, sometimes the software is a little bit weak. So what you can do is you can manually reset it. You go to the dash screen on settings and then set the PRB, when it comes to PRB, to automatic. It's probably got off of automatic. And once you set it to automatic, that will automatically reset everything. That's what I did on the one that I worked on. Now I got a fancy scan tool that does it real fast, but you can do it by going to settings on the dash, go to PRB, and then reset it to automatic, and it should go back to working normally. Kind of a glitch on the software. It was supposed to do it by itself automatically, but it didn't. So now you know, and if you ever do it again, you can just go through that rigmarole and reset it to automatic. If it didn't, if it went back to manual, just reset it to automatic. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.